workers on the picket line for a 5th day in a row, with automakers facing a new deadline. This is a live look at Ford's Michigan assembly plant. A strike update in just a few minutes. Football coach Mel Tucker fighting back this afternoon against plans to terminate his contract. His new statement contains a warning for the university. We'll show you. Plus, here's Kim.
Well, we've got a couple of clouds that have rolled in this afternoon, and there are a few showers out to the west. I'll tell you if they'll affect us here in Metro Detroit coming up.
I'm Damon Fernandez, and the city of Detroit is asking residents to chime in on how it should handle a growing geese and deer population across the city.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Our breaking news involves an overturned tanker in Livingston County, where some neighbors are being evacuated. State police say the truck is carrying 3,500 gallons of sulfuric acid. They say the tankers is not leaking, but they are moving people just in case as crews get ready to turn that tanker upright and assess the damage. This is happening on the ramp from Center Road to northbound US 23, which will be closed during the operation. Southbound 23 will also be closed at White Lake Road. Avoid the area if you can. Right now, there's no threat to the public. We're following it closely. We'll have an update at 5 unless we do get some new information sooner. Also, first at 4, another countdown is underway thanks to the UAW, which is trying to put more pressure on Detroit's big 3 automakers. Their historic strike is now in its 5th day, and we could see more workers walk off the job soon. Will Jones live at the Ford Michigan assembly plant for us in Wayne. Will, what is the mood out there today?
Well, Karen, we've been here all day, and I can tell you a lot of determination. Take a look over my shoulder there. There is some activity, a smaller crowd right now. It was a lot busier earlier. They're standing in front of UAW Local 900. I want to show you what's happening across the street in front of the Ford Michigan assembly plant. A larger crowd there. A lot of news crews are here as well. This is a national story. Some say international story. We want to bring you up to speed on where things stand right now. The biggest news came last night when Union President Shawn Fain set a deadline of noon Friday for, quote, substantial progress. The progress, if not made, Fain says the union is prepared to call for additional walkouts. Right now, about 13,000 workers are targeting the plant here in Wayne, plus factories in Wentzville, Missouri, and Toledo, Ohio. That's less than 10% of the UAW members that work at Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. So far today, we haven't heard of any new offers on the table. The automakers continue to say they're bargaining in good faith to end the strike. Remember, workers on the picket lines will receive strike pay of about $500 a week. Back here live, this has been the scene throughout the day. Different amounts of people out here picketing. Just seems like a smaller crowd right now. We've been covering, as I mentioned, this story all day, and we're going to have more story coverage coming up at 5 and 6. For right now, Karen, back to you.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Will. Meantime, Shawn Fain is blasting former President Donald Trump for his plans to visit Detroit next week. Fain says the union is fighting the billionaire class and an economy that enriches people like Donald Trump. In Canada, the Unifor union has extended its contract with Ford until 11:59 p.m. tonight as negotiations continue there. Make sure to stay here for updates at 5 and 6. Also alerts from clickondetroit.com. Suspended Michigan State coach Mel Tucker is blasting the university's decision to pursue the termination of his contract. His latest statement comes with a threat that he will pursue his own legal action. He writes, quote, "I can only conclude that MSU does not care about my rights, the truth, or its future liability for policing its employees' private lives." Adding, "I look forward to one day obtaining discovery against MSU, including the trustees and the athletic department, to see what they really knew and said about this matter, as well as their motives in handling the entire investigative process." A woman has accused Tucker of sexual harassment during a phone call back in 2022. Tucker says the relationship was consensual and she has manufactured false allegations. Warren's police commissioner is venting his frustration with violent juvenile crime following the arrest of 2 14-year-olds and 2 15-year-olds. Today, Commissioner Bill Dwyer offered new details on the arrest of the 4 students from Warren Woods Tower High School. They are suspected in a shooting from last Thursday afternoon at Martin and Bunnert Roads that forced 2 schools to go into lockdown. Dwyer says the teens targeted a 26-year-old in a robbery attempt. That victim is in critical condition, likely paralyzed from the neck down. The commissioner says something needs to change.
We're experiencing it It's increasing throughout the country. It's a great concern. Something has to be done. It's out of control. I mean, this violence among juveniles committing violent crimes is out of control. It's just totally escalated within the last 4 or 5 years.
Police say they recovered 5 guns from searches connected to the suspects. 2 of those weapons are being tested for DNA and other evidence. Detroit police are looking for 3 bumbling burglars who didn't get what they wanted and apparently caused an explosion. It happened earlier this morning at a former bank building over on Gratiot Avenue near Mack. Police say scrappers broke into the building hoping to steal the water heater. They failed. But police believe the would-be crooks left the gas line on, which caused the explosion. So if you happen to see anything in that case, please give police a call. They're working on that one. All right, let's get a quick check of the first forecast. Kim Adams is standing by. It's been a pretty gorgeous day. Nice bright blue sky, some fluffy clouds out there.
Yeah, that's true. But now we've got a little rain out to our west, not affecting us here in southeast lower Michigan, but over in Jackson, just a couple of sprinkles, maybe making it to Ann Arbor, although I doubt it. We're going to stay nice and dry across much of the area. It's still cooler than normal, though. Yet to crack the 70-degree mark out at Metro Airport. We should get to 70 next hour. We'll see. We're in the low 70s downtown, but most of Metro Detroit only in the upper 60s. So another day below normal. Temperatures will fall not quite as quickly as last night. We'll be in the low 60s by midnight. Temperature trend, though, over the next couple of days, a return to more summer-like temperatures with Thursday's high close to 80, just not quite there. We'll be in the upper 70s both Thursday and Friday, and then we briefly dip back below normal by early next week. We'll talk about rain chances here in Metro Detroit over the next 7 days in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Kim. President Joe Biden is once again trying to rally worldwide support for Ukraine, warning Russia's aggression must be stopped today to send a message to other countries. The president gave his annual address to the United Nations General Assembly. Let's bring in Kimberly Gill right now with some of the president's comments. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. The president didn't hold back in his remarks. He says if Russia is indeed allowed to carve up Ukraine, then no nation is truly secure. The meeting of the General Assembly has brought leaders from around the world to New York. Some major players, though, are missing, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, along with the leaders of China, Great Britain, and France. President Biden warned the world Putin is hoping NATO won't be able to stick together in its support of Ukraine. The president also says his support for Ukraine's defense doesn't mean he wants the war to continue. In fact, quite the opposite. Listen.
Like every nation in the world, the United States wants this war to end. No nation wants this war to end more than Ukraine. And we strongly support Ukraine in its efforts to bring about a diplomatic resolution that delivers just and lasting peace. But Russia alone bears responsibility for this war. Russia alone has the power to end this war immediately.
Now, Ukraine's president was in the audience for Biden's remarks. The president will meet with Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House Thursday. And Karen, the General Assembly is meeting as the president is seeking another $13 billion with a B dollars in military aid for Ukraine, plus more than $8 billion in humanitarian support. So we'll have a lot more on this when you join us for Local 4 News at 5.
Yeah, clearly, he's sending a message to Congress, but as you say, it always keeps changing hour by hour. So we'll check at 5 and 6.
Yep.
All right. All right. Many of us run into geese, sometimes deer, in our neighborhoods these days, but complaints are really growing in parts of the city of Detroit. So now it's reaching out to people in Rouge Park and Palmer Park for input on managing the wildlife. Damon Fernandez has a closer look at some of the options being considered.
They may look calm, but neighbors across the city of Detroit are saying geese like this and other wildlife are becoming a nuisance in certain parts of the city. Around Rouge Park, neighbors say they're noticing gaggles of geese seem to be growing in number.
More geese, yeah. I've definitely seen a lot more geese.
Antoinette Magruder says the geese are leaving a foul mess around picnic areas and playgrounds, and that's not it.
They come out of nowhere, literally, especially at night.
In the Brightmoor neighborhood, Brianna Washington's among neighbors who say it's the number of deer popping up that's also causing concern. Recent complaints about the growing geese and deer population now has the city of Detroit looking into options.
We've had community residents reach out to us with this major concern with the urban wildlife and how to manage it here in the city of Detroit.
Detroit.
Jessica Parker is Deputy Chief Operations Manager with the Mayor's Office. She says the city, in partnership with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, is sending out this wildlife management questionnaire, asking residents near Rouge Park and Palmer Park to chime in. The questionnaire asks residents, do you want to see wildlife managed? And to pick options for controlling geese population that include egg oiling, which target goose reproduction and prevents hatching. Goose herding would remove adult geese from the park, and euthanasia, or do nothing. As far as the deer population, the questionnaire allows residents to choose between hiring a third party or USDA sharpshooters to remove a reasonable number of deer and donating meat to a food bank, or doing nothing and allowing the deer to continue their natural course of increasing the population.
I wouldn't want to see any animals eradicated. I mean, shifted probably to more areas that might need it.
For now, Magruder and Washington seem to be on the same page with their opinions.
Well, I don't think they should kill them. I'm not really a fan of that, but if they can safely remove them, I think that would be a good idea.
And again, the Department of Neighborhood says that questionnaire is designed specifically for those neighbors who live near Palmer Park and Rouge Park. They're urging you to give the Department of Neighborhoods a call at 313-224-4415 if you want a copy of that questionnaire. They say ask the district manager to send you a copy of the QR code. I'm Devon Fernandez, Local 4.
All right, thanks, Damon. The city says the deadline to return that questionnaire is October 5th.